Hallo meine fröhlichen Fröne des gefrönten Gefrön und herzlich willkommen zu Let's Frön. The Outer Worlds. Wir wissen von einer Geheimwaffe auf Klo. Da bin ich sehr gespannt, was es sein wird. Ich glaube, es wird ziemlicher Crap sein, um ehrlich zu sein. Sein. Wir müssen immer noch die Grube finden, whatever die Grube sein soll. Da bin ich gespannt drauf. Wir müssen immer noch 3 Leute oder 2 Leute töten. Ich bin mir gerade gar nicht ganz sicher. Wo ich auch keine Ahnung habe, wo die sein sollen. Sein.
Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him careful and true, miss.
Ja, von ihrem Vater.
Something I can do for you?
Ist irgendwie logisch, von wem sie redet.
You run into any trouble? Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners. Skimp out on the disinfectant. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on him. Maybe check his back room. That's the word, extortion. Been on the tip of my tongue all day.
Okay. Haben wir das auch geklärt. Heißt, wir können zum Ficker gehen. Der wird uns ja... Ach, da oben die gelbe Leiste ist unsere Erfahrung. Das ist ja schön designt. Ein gelber Pimmelstrich. Das ist der kleine Urinstriezen da. Das ist die für Erfahrung wir haben. Aber okay.
Not a chance. The last thing we need is for everyone to get sick of it.
Erstmal gehen wir auf Klo.
You're not a big drinker, are you?
Aber es ist versiegelt.
Power's gone. Lana. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contract. You tried the best, now... Go ahead.
Kommen wir da jetzt nicht rein, weil Strom aus ist? Wir sind alle Türen hier jetzt versiegelt, oder? Das ist irgendwie nicht so cool. Mr. Vikar. Ich komme zu dich.
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
Ihn mag ich nicht.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. There is little more important than such a precious, rare text. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Wenigstens hast du noch deine Missionierungsarbeit hier, die deinem Leben eine Bedeutung gibt. Wieso dachtest du, dass dieses blutige Arme birgt, nach denen du suchst? Das muss eine Art komische, kosmische Vergeltung sein. Entschuldigung, von der Seuche heimgesuchtes, rückständiges Kampf. Was ist aus einem Quatsch geworden, dass du Anführer deiner Erde seist? Von Seuchen heimgesucht Kämpfer, ich sollte besser los.
Please, those dolts? Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
Ich will ihn nicht mitnehmen, aber mich interessiert, was das für ein Text ist.
free spiritual counseling,
Wow.
someone to watch your back, not to mention a grown-up in the party.
I'm 28.
Exactly. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well. Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied? It's the journal of one of the originators of the Philosopher's School of Thought, though it would be more than a century before it was perverted into that belief system. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of that came later. Bakonu had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Most laypeople are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's the long and short of it. So, what do you think?
Krieg ich das Buch bitte? Ich probiere mal was. Wir können ja sowas machen. Also wenn ich die Story erfahren will, muss ich ihn mitnehmen.
I'm glad you stopped by. I've been meditating since you retrieved that book.
Was?
Stewing might be a better word. I have a proposition for you. You're my best chance at getting that book translated. And maintaining my sense.
Das hast du ja schon mal gesagt.
Please. Fantastic. I promise you won't regret this.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. It is my esteemed pleasure to serve as your crew vicar, Captain.
Die Leute hier werden dich vermissen. Ja, ich bin froh, dass ich hier weg bin. Vikar Max kann jetzt der Gruppe beitreten. Bonus unterstützen, hacken. Gewieft. Stürmisch rumdrehen. Wie kann er gerne so weiter rumlaufen?
As always, anything. I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. That's a good question.
Danke.
We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. Thank you, Captain.
Warum stand er nicht bei Gespräch verlassen? Alter, es tut mir leid, dass ich WhatsApp noch offen habe. Ich habe es vergessen zu schließen. Folgen die mir jetzt beide? Geil! Ich habe eine kleine Armee.
Are we getting paid or not?
Any loss of productivity? Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please. We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I remember him. I was just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me? Something to report?
You picked a fine time to visit, stranger. Foreman Granger, mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you. Shit. Silas still on about that? Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame though. Eugene was a good worker.
Warum werden immer die linken Ohren durchblutet oder durchleuchtet?
Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Not half as awful as the bill Eugene left us with. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. I'm plenty serious. In fact, I'm a little upset Eugene didn't think things through. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
So, dann haben wir auch ihre Grabgebühren eingetrieben. Ich überlege gerade, wo der Kranke war und wo der Schmopsladen war. Es war beides hier, bin ich der Meinung. Hier war der Kranke. Ich weiß, sie können die Medikamente auf ihn anders geben, aber ich glaube, der braucht sie.
Let's see it. Don't keep us waiting.
I don't know what that means. Is that some sort of medical condition? Is my plague getting worse or something? Sweet life-giving nostrum. The first hit's always the best. Scratched together all the bits I had around the domicile. It ain't as much as you deserve, but it's all I got. wringing the blood out of me. Here, you can have whatever's in my pockets.
Cannery's dead. This is gonna throw a wrench into my actuarial tables. I can't say I'm pleased, but what's done is done. Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
Ja, ich glaube, den Spacer's Choice Leuten will ich auch nicht unbedingt helfen. Also das mit der Medizin war, glaube ich, so schon in Ordnung. Da ist der Friseursalon. Wir sollten uns hier hinten mal umgucken, ob denn nicht Brief von Syphilis. Konrad, Rezeptionist hat sich erschossen. Das ist schlecht. Die Firma muss das so sehen, wie es ist. Zerstörung von Spacer's Choice Firmeneigentum. Eugene war ein Aktivposten und irgendwer muss seine Leichengebühren zahlen. Das würde uns ruinieren. Also dachte ich, wir verkaufen seine Zähne. Das habe ich schon mal gelesen. Fällt mir gerade so ein.
I can't possibly cut anyone's hair in the dark.
Wir zeugen eins. Ich weiß über Eugene Bescheid. Warum verlässt du nicht seine Zähne als Hand für seine Grabgebühren? Mit 10,5 Glücklinger hättest du Ahnung von Materialien mit den Zähnen.
Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon. And if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 58% chance of avoiding gangrene.
58? 58 ist nicht so viel.
You know about Eugene? How? You were probably poking around my things. I really shouldn't leave my letters sitting out in the open. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. That's unthinkable. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein are solely the property of Spacer's Choice. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
Are you asking rhetorically? Because if you're being serious... Ugh, gross.
Desperate measures, Miss Holcomb. Desperate measures. I'm going to have to ask Silas to dig up those teeth. It's the only way I'm paying my gravesite fees. I'm sure that I have no other choice. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU. Eugene was not a suicide. He put a bullet in his brain, yes, but that's largely a technicality. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague on his corpse, and I discovered medicine in his pocket. Lots of medicine. Eugene overdosed on adrenatime, which is known to cause psychosis and paranoia as possible side effects.
Oh, wow.
The paranoia drove him to take his own life. It's a miracle of bureaucracy. If Eugene's death were filed as a suicide, we'd all pay the price for his crime. We can all thank our lucky stars that young Eugene was hopped up on medication and suffered its predictable side effect. I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with a suicide.
Interessant, weil es hieß doch, es sei ein Suicide gewesen. Ich will nochmal mit der Vorarbeiterin sprechen, wenn ich sie jetzt auf Anhieb so finde.
You the new worker? I paid his burial fees, didn't I? Let the dead sleep.
Ja, Schnuddel.
I don't understand. I found Eugene's body. I know the guy shot himself. Wait, are you telling me he was murdered?
Lügen 5 Lügen, das hast du nicht von mir gehört.
He was plagued? Oh, Law, that's awful. I helped carry his body out. I could have been infected. This is all a little too much for me to take in. But I guess if Eugene wasn't a suicide, our town won't have to pay a penalty.
Ich habe keine Ahnung, was das bringt, dass ich ihr das überhaupt sage.
What are we supposed to do now?
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please.
Aber vielleicht hat das ja irgendwas ausgelöst. Ich weiß es nicht. Was ist denn jetzt überhaupt noch offen? Was müssen wir überhaupt noch tun? Oh Gott, wir sind bei 20 Minuten. Sagt das doch eine, ihr Ärsche. Wir sehen uns wieder in einer weiteren Folge. Haut rein, bis bald. Tschüss.